is Mark Briody from Jag Panzer, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious podcast.
The Brutally Delicious podcast.
There we go.
Good to see you.
Good. How are you doing?
I am doing really well. Where are you located?
Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Oh, nice.
Where are you at?
I'm in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Been here for about 20 years, I guess. Originally from New York.
Oh, okay.
You doing okay today?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Doing lots of press, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's interested, that's good, right?
Yeah. 100%.
So let's talk about Jag Panzer. Longtime fan.
Okay.
Great to have you on. I listened to Stronger Than You Know, and I know the record, the Hallowed, set for release, in like 2 weeks from today? Or 2 weeks from tomorrow?
2 weeks.
What's the buzz been about? Has the buzz been good? The feedback been good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's actually very good. You know, you're never 100% good, so you never expect it. About the only negative comments, a small percentage of people don't understand the production. It's not mixed for a cell phone. It's mixed very old school.
Right.
So I've had just a few negative reactions to it, and saying, well, it sounds so different from what I'm used to. And I said, well, you're used to, trigger drums or layered drums mixed for a cell phone.
Right. I mean, the whole world is gone crazy as far as music business goes, and I totally get what you're saying. I saw that you did it at Morris Sound, which is great because I used to live in Florida, and I know Tom Morris really well, and I used to go do some stuff at the old Morris Sound before they moved to their new location.
Yeah, Tom's great. I mean, I've never worked with Tom, but I mean, we used to have lunch quite a bit, and yeah, he's a great guy.
Tom's a super guy. And Morris Sound is known for their metal or hard rock kind of stuff anyway, right? That's like the go-to.
Yep.
How did you guys find them? You've known them for that long? That's how you ended up doing it, or how did
we did a record, our Fort Judgment album with Morris Sound probably in '97.
So the old building then, when it was in Tampa there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the old one off of 52nd or 55th or something.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've had Jim work on 5 albums, I think, maybe 6.
Oh, wow. I wasn't aware of that. I just saw it on this one as a note. I was like, wow, that's pretty funny. So what's the writing process like for a Jag Panzer record these days? I assume you guys are all spread out everywhere, right? So it's a bit different than it was 30 years ago?
Yeah. I usually start the songwriting, and I don't submit riffs or anything. I submit completed songs. So I'll do a whole demo myself, and then and I'll leave room for everybody else. So then I'll send him over to our drummer, and he's kind of the musical director. So he'll immediately change the drum parts, shift some things around, coordinate with bass player, lead guitar, vocals, and usually from what I submit to what gets on the album is usually quite a bit different.
Oh, it is. So it morphs quite a bit as it moves along.
Yeah, everybody in the band's got free say to say they don't like something and change things, and there's no pecking order or anything. Everybody's equal. Everybody's opinion's valid, and so we'll have sometimes some heated discussions about how arrangements are supposed to go, but we always come to an agreement.
When you say you turn in like a full or a demo or full demo, whatever you're calling it, are you including vocals with that as well? Or melody lines?
I'm usually including a vocal line, but that's one of the things I kind of hide, because usually our singer will come up with a completely different take on it.
Right.
And it's usually better, but sometimes I have to unhide it. Sometimes they'll say, hey, what do you got? What do you got for this bridge? Oh, here's what I have.
Right.
And, but it's generally 90-some%. He just comes up with something completely different, but I'm ready in case he wants to hear something.
Right. So did you ever imagine, Mark, that you'd be making music or making even relevant music this far along in your career?
No clue. Because my goals as a teenage kid when I started playing guitar was just to do a gig.
Right.
And then I expanded it to the goal of a demo tape. It'd just be cool to have a tape of me playing. That's good enough. And Yeah, so that the goals kept moving further.
Yeah.
I just am really into it. I like it. It's a lot of fun.
So you guys, I mean, I agree, and you guys have been at this for a long time and sort of been at the forefront, especially back in the day. Do you consider, or do you feel any sort of, or any sense of responsibility to the newer musicians?
Yeah, well, I have responsibility to give them an honest outlook.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.
You know, I tell them if you're not doing this because you enjoy it, this is not the thing you should be doing.
Right, especially nowadays, it's so different.
Yeah, you really, really need to enjoy it, and you need to enjoy the guys you're working with, because if you go on tour, you're going to be in close quarters constantly. You got to be able to work hard, and you have to accept a ton of rejection and accept that there's always people that aren't going to like what you're going to do. So yeah, that's what I feel the responsibility to be just brutally honest.
Right. It is and especially nowadays, the music business has changed so much. It's insane. And everybody's a keyboard warrior and can send you all kinds of nasty grams and critiques without ever.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time.
How much do you put into that? Do you just kind of let it roll off your shoulders?
Yeah, you have to. You have to let them both roll off your shoulders. Yeah, the negative, you have to. And sometimes you get a weird positive. Like, you know, someone a couple of weeks ago heard some of these songs from the new album, and, you know, I really hear the Night Ranger influence. And there's like zero I mean, I've got nothing against Night Ranger, but there's zero influence. So comments like that are actually fairly common. So you just have to dismiss those as well.
Right. And I guess at the end of the day, people are still talking about Jag Panzer. So that's, no matter what, the name's still out there, right?
Yeah. And that's important to me.
So when you're writing, and since you do most of writing, I guess this is a good question for you. How much time or how much effort do you put into not writing the previous record? So, you know, you sat down to write the Hallowed. Obviously, you don't want to reinvent the Jag Panzer sound, but you don't also want to write the last record, right?
Yeah, I'll listen to the last record probably 2 or 3 times and take some notes, because I tend to hear the songs differently from people listening to it. So I'll hear techniques I did, types of key changes, and things that I did, and I make sure I don't repeat those.
Right. I mean,
if we're 10 albums apart, like you had mentioned, Stronger Than You Know, that has the arrangement. The riffs are different, but the arrangement is right out of Warfare on Ample Destruction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was done on purpose. That's like, let's do a tip of the hat ourselves.
Okay, so I'm familiar with both, and I never even noticed. I'm going to have to go back and listen after this interview, because that's interesting.
Yeah, no one has, but if you listen just for the arrangement.
Fair enough. Are you guys planning on taking this out on the road?
We're going to Europe in about 8 weeks. We've got 3 festivals: Headbangers Open Air, and Wacken, and Alcatraz, and a bunch of club shows. Yeah, big ones, and some club shows in between. And then we have Blades of Steel Festival here in the U.S., in Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
In September. And then something's coming up in January, but I don't know. Everybody in the band has different jobs, and I don't have anything to do with the booking. So they just send me an email. Here's where we're going. So
nice.
Something's happening in January, but I don't know quite what yet.
Nice. Are you... Shoot, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, do you find it difficult after being in it for so long, touring like that, or hitting the road, or is it not so bad because they're more one-offs?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's fun. I try to make it fun. Before we go on tour, I go on Google Earth website, and I kind of virtually walk around the city
Oh, really?
So, yeah, and that works out really cool. I mean, everybody asks me, we'll get into town. Hey, Mark, where's the pizza place? Yeah, it's 3 blocks over to the right. And yeah, it makes it kind of fun for me. It's like I'm hitting a new city that I've never seen before, except every day walking around virtually. And it's actually pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. And I know what I was going to ask you when I just had a brain fart there. A Jag Panzer show these days must be super multi-generational, right? Like people like myself taking their kids and maybe even grandkids at this point. That's got to be pretty cool too, right?
That is cool. Yeah, we get shows, yeah, where there are grandkids wearing Jag Panzer shirts. We did a show in Greece a couple tours ago, and some kid made his own Jag Panzer shirt. 8-year-old kid.
Really?
Yeah, took a crayon, wrote the logo, and asked his dad if he could bring it before, did it right before the gig. Can I wear this? Yeah, that was super cool.
That's crazy. And at stories like that, I mean, you could never have imagined however many years or however many decades ago that would happen. And that's got to be the ultimate payoff, right?
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic.
So what do you guys have next? I know you got this record. Are you one of those bands that is releasing singles every 6 weeks or something like that? Or are you just going to stick with the old school album model?
Well, they did. Tom Fire did 3 singles for this album already, and I don't know if they're going to do another one. We've got a couple lyric videos already done, if they choose to use them. So
right.
It's kind of, we just put that in hands.
Because I think the music model has changed. Well, not I think. I know it has changed. Like people like my son, they just want to listen to one song. But I'm the old school. I want the record, and I appreciate you guys doing that, and I appreciate spending the time figuring out how you sequenced it and how it flows and the liner notes and all that kind of stuff. That's all important to me. And I think you guys carrying that torch is pretty cool.
Yeah, we had Travis Smith do the layout for this. So we went all out on, the liner notes and thanks and lyrics. And I want people to, and I don't know how many people will, but I want people to appreciate what it was like listening to a complete album.
Right. Yeah, they have no idea. My son just wants one song and then maybe 30 seconds of that one song, and he's moving on to something else.
Yeah, and I hear that all the time, and I always tell people that some of my favorite songs that I love my whole life are non-single tracks, just a miscellaneous album track that
or like
you never
a deep
would have
cut
heard
somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, crazy stuff. So I know everyone's got like a gateway band that got them into, the music business or the music scene or the heavier music in general. For me, it was like Diary of a Madman. I found that in the store when I was a kid and went, holy shit, I need to have this. And then it opened up this floodgate. What was yours?
Oh, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell.
Nice.
I had liked Rainbow, but I wanted it, heavier and a little darker. But I convinced myself, it's ridiculous that somebody's going to do something exactly what you want to hear. And then Heaven and Hell came out, and I'm like, oh my God, that is exactly what I want to hear.
That's almost a perfect record.
Yeah, my buddy called and said, oh, you got to hear the new Black Sabbath. I said, oh, it's with Dio, it's out? And he said, yeah. I got through half a song before I hightailed it to the record store to buy the album. I just couldn't believe how cool it was.
Yeah. It's funny, and everybody looks back at that. Like I said, mine was Diary of a Madman, and from then on, it was like, let's find more stuff like that because it just gets in your system and your blood.
Yeah.
That's going to bring me to the end of my questions. I don't know if, where can fans find you? Are you guys pretty active social media wise? Yeah,
there's a official Jag Panzer page on Facebook, and somebody in the band's always monitoring that. And every band member has their own page, except for our bass player does not like social media, so he's not there. We have a website. You can contact us on there. So we're pretty easy to contact. Band members are always monitoring everything. You're not going to get some weird
moderated
email or anything. Yeah, you can reach us.
I'm kind of on your bass player's side. I'm not a big fan of it, but it's a necessary evil in this world we live in because that's where everybody's at. So
yeah, he hates it. I mean, we've tried to get him on. Even we tell him just get a fake name and don't get any friends. Just get on so you can communicate with us. Nope, not into it. Said no, not going to do it.
Good for him. I kind of am envious of that because I'm so
I do too
with the show and everything else, and I imagine like it takes so much time out of my day checking things, posting things, doing all that stuff. You could be doing that, being creative or doing something else with it.
Yeah, same here. I get an average of about I think it's about 35 messages a day. And you got to answer all of them.
Yep. It's time consuming and draining being available 24/7.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it is because I'll get up. Sometimes I'll wander out of bed at 2 a.m. and then I have messages and it's important. So I gotta get on it because for someone in Europe it's 10 a.m. and they may have a business question for me.
Yep. Crazy. Thank you, my friend, for taking the time, and thank you for your contributions to the hard rock world. I really appreciate it. Big fan.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this was a fun interview. Thank you for having me.
Excellent. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I know I meandered a bit, but I just like to talk. So,
no, it was great.
Awesome. Have a great day. Good luck with the record, and maybe we'll see you soon over here in Virginia.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
Hello out there.
Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.